Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about some automatic accessibility tools that you can use to improve the accessibility of your website. And I thought that it would be a great thing to do on my own portfolio because this is something that I built about a year and a half ago before I had as much knowledge as I do now about accessibility. So I wanted to show you these 3 accessibility tools that I use on a regular basis and that you can start using as well in your website building and hopefully improve the accessibility of your websites. Now, just a disclaimer, they don't find every issue. They only find issues that can be detected automatically, but they are a brilliant start. I would say they probably find between 30 to 50% of issues, and then after that you need to do a manual test, and that is something that I'm going to do in another video, but I thought I'd start off with showing you the 3 favourites. And the first one is one that's called Lighthouse. It's probably one that many of you have already heard about. It is built into Chrome, so sorry if you're using Firefox or another browser. This one is just Chrome specific as far as I know, and in order to access it you can right click and inspect your page to get up the developer tools, and in the bar along the top you will find somewhere one that says Lighthouse. So if we click on that, you can actually check in 5 different areas. I'm just going to unclick all of these except for accessibility just so that it goes a little bit faster, and then we can generate a report, and that's going to go through and audit our website and check for accessibility issues, and it will be exciting to see. And brilliant, this is giving me a score of 100, which looks pretty good as far as we can see. It will show you past audits, so if I click on show, it will show you the things that it's checked and passed. So like the document has a title, the HTML element has a language attribute. So it's passed all of these 15 checks. And then it says you can also conduct an accessibility review, and some things that it hasn't checked that you need to check manually, and this is something that we'll look at next week, so I'm not going to go through this all right now. But this looks brilliant. Am I done? Actually, no. I know for a fact that this website does have some accessibility issues, and Lighthouse is probably the tool that picks up the least of them, but it's always great to start here and try and get an accessibility score of 100 anyway. So let's move on to the next tools that I want to show you. The next tool is called Devtools, and this is actually my favourite. If you go to the Chrome web store and type in Devtools, it's the one at the top, and it's made by DQ, and DQ makes some really good accessibility tools, and also have a really great conference every year which is free, so definitely check that out if you're interested in learning more. But anyway, it's this one. I have already installed it, so I don't need to install it again, but you click on the install button here and get access to it. So if we go back to our portfolio again, and again this one is accessed by going into the developer tools, so we inspect, and again when you click on this little 2 arrows you'll get Devtools here in the Devtools. And there is a paid version of this as well. I've only got the free version for now, so I can only scan the entire page. I can't do all of the intelligent guided tests that are down here, but we're going to do the automatic test and scan the entire page. And there you go, it's saying already we've got 19 issues that weren't picked up from Lighthouse. So we've got 19 that were automatic, 7 that need review because it can't quite tell if they're a problem or not, and 12 moderate issues. So let's have a look at what is going on here. Down here it will tell you the element must have sufficient colour contrast, and this relates to 5 areas of the page. And I love with this one you can click on highlight and it will put a really nice pink purple highlight around so you can see exactly where the problem is. And as you can see, it's not really liking this colour on the black. That's what it's picking up. But I do actually know I've got another little extension installed called the WCAG Colour Contrast Checker. And I know if I do click on that, that is actually going to tell me that this colour contrast, so I've got black with the turquoise on it, it has a contrast of 11.56, which is acceptable. It's more than acceptable at the AAA level, not just the AA level. They pass everything. So I think it's, for some reason it's having a slight issue discerning the background. It says the element's background colour could not be determined because it's overlapped by another element. So there's something behind it that's causing it to not be able to tell if the colour contrast is correct or not. Usually this tool is pretty good with colour contrast, but there you go, it's checking anyway. So there's 5 issues which actually aren't issues, which is brilliant. Let's look at the next one then. Links with the same name must have a similar purpose. And here it is picking up these buttons, and that is absolutely right. This has an accessible text of view site, but the next one is also going to have an accessible text of view site. And if you're using a screen reader and can't actually see the website, well, this is not going to give me very much information at all. Which site am I going to? So I need to be better at making these buttons have much better accessible text. So that is something that I will need to go back and fix up, either by changing what each button says, so that this one says like view the GeoQuizzer site and this one says view the Meetup site, or I can give them an area label which will give them more of an accessible text for those people using screen readers, but it can still say view site for those people that can see the page. So that's the issue here. The next problem we've got is the document should have one main landmark. So if I highlight this, it's picking up that it's surrounded by an HTML, but that the document does not have a main landmark, and that means I'm actually missing a main tag, I think. If we click on the Elements button and look through our HTML here, I've got a div with a class of wrapper, I've got a navigation, and then I've got a header, which is fine, they're semantic, but then I've got all these sections here, which are actually outside of a tag, so they need to be wrapped in a main tag, and that's something that I've missed. So that is something that if anyone wants a green square on GitHub, go and find my profile and raise an issue, make a pull request and wrap these sections in a main tag. So if we go back to the Axe Devtools, I imagine this one is also referring to the same thing. All page content should be contained by landmarks, and that's also talking about all of these sections. None of them are actually within a main tag. So some page content is not contained by landmarks. So this is the Axe Devtools. I also think this is brilliant because if you don't find the information here enough, it tells you the element location, it will tell you the HTML, but if you don't find that that's enough, you can even click on more info and it will open up a whole extra page explaining to you what it is that you are missing and how to fix the problem. And here you can see it's saying you need a header, you need a nav, you need a main, and if you've got a footer, you need a footer. And I know that I'm missing this main tag. But yeah, pages and pages of really, really good information if you are interested in reading more. So that is Axe Devtools. This is my favourite one. This is the one I use most often. But we've got one more to show you. If I close that down and scroll up to the top of the page, the final one that I wanted to show you is one called Wave. And again, it's a Chrome extension. If you go to the Chrome store and type in Wave, it's the one called the Wave Evaluation Tool. And so it's this one that you want to install. And again, I've already installed it, so I don't need to do it again, but it will have this wavy W. And so if we go back to my website again, this is one that you access through the toolbar at the top. And so if I click on this little extensions puzzle piece, it might be here for you if you don't quite have as many extensions as I have. But I have quite a few, so if you scroll down you'll find the wave evaluation tool, and I click on that and it will actually put all of these weird kind of icons all over your page, and but it will give you a summary over to the left hand side. And this is really useful. It will tell you that I've got 6 errors, but I've got no contrast errors, 7 alerts. It's saying that 33 features are good. I've got 13 structural elements and no aria. And what I can do here is I can either click on view details down here, or I can click on the details button here. And it will tell me these are my errors. I have got 3 missing form labels and 3 multiple form labels. Now I did this before, I checked all of this before I filmed this video, and I think this is having a hard time with the form down below, my contact form, because this is where all of these little things are appearing. And if I click on these icons, I can see multiple form labels. A form control has more than one label associated with it, and a reference and the code. So I can take up the code and see it, and I'm not entirely sure what is happening. I think it is because I am using like a Vue and Netlify form. I'm trying to think how to explain it. The form submission for this is coming from Netlify, so I had to put it in a special way, and I think it's confusing the wave. So there's actually, if you look here, I don't have multiple form labels. I literally have the input here is for name, and the label above it is for name. Whoop, if it doesn't move. So we've got a label for name, and then we've got a label here for name. So I think it's just getting slightly confused by the way that Netlify does the form control. But I am going to look into it more just to make sure that it's not getting confused with something else, because I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, you can see the automatic tools, they're not always the best, but they're definitely not the worst thing in the world. They will definitely help you find errors, but some things they can't always find. Let's have a look. We've got 7 alerts. We've got a nearby image has the same alternative text, and this seems to be referring to, if I click on these, we scroll up, and yeah, we've got website screenshot. This is terrible alternative text. So yeah, great that I've got alternative text, but I can't have 5 images with the exact same alternative text. So I need to go through these and definitely fix those. And I'm pretty sure I saw that when I was looking. I've done the same down here. I've actually made a mistake, and even my logos have the alternative text React logo, even though that's not a React logo, and a React logo. So I've done a bit of copy pasting here, obviously, and made a bit of a mistake. So again, if anyone wants to raise green squares and on GitHub and fix my alternative text, please go ahead. Otherwise I'll add the issues myself. But yeah, these weren't picked up with the other tools that I looked at. So it's obviously a good idea to use a mixture of different tools here. Let's have a look at the next one. One possible heading. Okay. So here I have, and it's kind of squashed it a bit because this has an animation on it. But here I've got my H1 with my name on it, and it's questioning, should this then JavaScript developer also be a heading? But actually no, it shouldn't, because this is like more of a subheading. So this should not have its own heading tag. So I have actually done correctly here, but it's just unsure. So it's asking me, so that's really good, you know, it's checking, and that's fine. And then it's telling me that these are the things I've done correctly. You know, it's great that I think it's it's pointing out that I have actually included the alternative text on these. I've got 4 linked images with alternative text. I've got my form labels, although I should only have 4 and I've got 8, so that's something I need to look into. And I've got a language tag. And then it's also showing me the structure that I've got 1 H1. I should only ever have 1 H1. I've got 4 H2s. And then I've got 5 H3s down here. And an unordered list and things. And so it's showing me the structure of my page, which is also really useful. So anyway, that is the third and final tool that I wanted to show you today. If we just close it up. I hope this has been really useful for you. I will put the links to the tools in the description down below, and hopefully it will help you in making your websites more accessible in the future. Any questions, do let me know. And thank you for watching this far. I'm hoping to make another video about manual testing later on, and we'll be testing my website again and seeing if we can find even more issues with it so that we can make it better and improve it. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!